Yeah, I actually advise you to take it. Whether or not you do, that's your business. But if you want to graduate in 3 semesters because of the prerequisites, you probably should do it. Okay. And more than likely, that's going to be a small class. Last 2 times I taught that, I had 10 and 12 students. You get a lot more fun and a lot more interaction when you have only students of that size. And if you're a general business major, you can also pick that as your finance elective, by the way. The only prerequisite that's, yeah, having taken this class is prerequisite enough. Or you can take it online. That's your business. But that class is a lot more fun face to face. And I have managed mutual fund portfolios when I was in the industry. So I have a lot of industry experience that you won't see in the books. All right, let me kind of get us started on discussion of residual income model. It basically works on the following. Value of the firm now is equal to BPS, which is book value per share. It's you look at the latest financial statement, get the total equity divided by number of shares, plus present value of uh, future residual earnings. And residual earnings equals estimated earnings for that year minus book value of the previous year times discount rate, and book values evolve according to a simple equation. Book value last year plus retained earnings this year. In fact, for the workings of the model, it doesn't make any difference whether you assume future dividends are going to be zero or not. On its face, this kind of looks like, book value per share is an accounting quantity, especially for tech companies. It underestimates the actual value of the assets. It's very different from the market value of the assets. If you look at NVIDIA's books, they have patents about their chip designs, right? Or GPU designs. But since they developed them in house, they have not acquired them. Book value of those patents are zero. Had they purchased those patents, you would have seen a value. So let's go to NVIDIA's financial statements. Actually, since I was going to show you how to do it, just to get an idea, let me create this. Grabbing uh, internet data. Yeah, I got all of these, okay? Suppose I want all of these in my Excel. Grab the web address, okay? And I want to put them somewhere here. Uh, Under Data tab, right around here, there's something called Get Data. Go to From Other Sources, from Web, paste the address. Of course, this internet connection never cooperates. I'm on the hard connection, by the way. Wait, oh, cancel. Well, we'll talk about it next time. It's something else. Oh, I wanted to do this for NVIDIA anyway. As you can see, NVIDIA is trading around 180 bucks, right? Let's see what's the book value per share is on the statistics. $4.11. So market value per share is 180. Book value per share is $4.11. So market actually says there's a lot of premium to the book value. So I'm starting from a very low value. How is that going to affect me? Think of it this way. I just want to explain the logic of the model. Oddly enough, it was developed by an accountant. If any of you guys are interested, you can find his book. His name is Steve Penman. He's actually an accounting professor. Uh, I don't remember the name of the book, but I have it somewhere at home. I'll bring it next time. The way we calculate the residual earnings, okay? If book value, your starting book value is small, that BT times discount rate is a penalty you apply to the earnings. If I'm starting with 4, I'm basically not applying any kind of penalty. Or I start with $200 book value, then I'm going to apply a very high penalty. So it kind of self-corrects itself. That's why I start with the P0 now. I can even start with 0, doesn't matter. In fact, you can show theoretically any book value errors self-correct themselves, especially if you apply this model just like the dividend growth model. Whether I start with $4 per share right now, or I start with $200 per share, I should be getting exactly the same value. So it doesn't matter. Same thing with earnings. Suppose next quarter the earnings are a lot higher than they should be. Well, that creates high residual earnings, but you know that at some point in the future, this company is going to pay for those high earnings management. So since they are high, I'm going to keep applying high penalties because they keep adding to the book value. But in the future, I also expect future earnings to be much lower than they should be. So it's kind of a self-correcting algorithm. And it is not based on any uh, quantity that is decided by the board arbitrarily. I mean, yes, you can manage earnings, but there's a legal limit to it. You can't make earnings that should be $1 into $10 without actually committing fraud. In fact, if you do that, you'll get in trouble. Market will also kind of see what it is, so they're not going to react to it as they should. Let's stop here for today. On Monday, we're going to develop both residual income model, and we will also briefly talk about discounted cash flow valuation and overall stock market. You know, who are the players, rules, how they perform, and how they function, and that sort of stuff. Then I'll do the homework for 8 and 9.